Hey you guys, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. Today I'm excited for this video because it was actually a suggestion that one of you guys left me in one of my videos, and it's what conventional products I used to use and what I've now replaced them with. And I thought this was a really great idea just because they're not exact dupes, but if you're someone who potentially is using one of those conventional products and you're almost done and you're wanting to replace it with something, I can give you my picks for it and sort of what I've transitioned to. Now, I think my skin type has changed a little bit since I was using conventional products, so some of the products maybe wouldn't have worked for me before, so I don't want to say that these are exact dupes, but they serve kind of the same purpose in my routine, so I'm excited to share them with you guys. I don't have the conventional products anymore. Actually, I have a few of them that I kept because they're sentimental, but I don't have most of them. So for most of them, I'll just be showing you guys a picture of the conventional product, and then I'll be sharing with you guys my clean beauty pick. I'm going to have all the products that I talk about linked down below, but I want to say that I've been getting so many emails about Black Friday sales. I'm going to be talking about a really special one next week, so I highly encourage you guys to not buy anything for this week and part of next week because there are going to be some great sales. And personally, I think it's always better to stock up on green beauty when it's on sale. So yeah, let's hop in and let me share some of my, what should I call these? Like clean beauty swaps. You guys probably know by now my makeup style is pretty minimal and it's always been that way. I really don't like when you can see products on my skin, although I do have some really bad foundation days when I used to use conventional beauty where you could definitely see the color difference between my face and my neck, which is really unfortunate, but I feel like we've all had those moments. So as far as base products go, the products that I'll be mentioning, I didn't usually wear every day. I would usually just wear a concealer every day. But if I was gonna wear an everyday foundation, I actually used a powdered foundation. And this is actually a relatively clean product. It's a drugstore brand called Physicians Formula, and I used to use their talc-free powder. I think I only used it because I saw my older sister using it, and then I didn't even really know what talc was at that point. I didn't really understand like why it was so special that it was talc free, but I just saw my older sister using it, so I assumed it was good and I bought my own. I don't think the color match was great, but I think that with powdered foundation you can kind of get away with a slightly off color match as long as you don't use too much. But the powdered foundation that I use nowadays is more of a setting powder, and you guys know what it is. It's the Well People Bio-Based Baked Foundation. I have this in the shade Medium Golden. I think I'm out in the sun a lot less than I was when I used to use conventional products, so my shade's definitely a lot lighter than I used to use. But I really like this as a setting powder. I usually layer it over the top of my Suntegrity 5-in-1, which I will show you guys in just a minute, or I put this over the top of just like my T-zone area and sort of on the sides of my cheeks where I tend to get shiny when I'm wearing more foundation. So slightly different product because this is a pressed powder and the talc-free powder is a loose powder, but this is sort of the only powder that I really use nowadays. Now when it came to real foundation, like when I was going out or I wanted to have like a full coverage look, I used the NARS Sheer Glow foundation, which was 100% a YouTube recommendation. I don't know if you guys remember how big that foundation was, like a long time ago. And I mean, it's still kind of big, people still use it, but I don't know if you guys follow Tanya Burr, but I followed her when she was still Pixie 2 Woo, which is a long time ago, and she used to love NARS Sheer Glow foundation, so I was like, oh, I need that for sure. I got it, don't think I ever got quite the right color match, and that's what I'm talking about. I had some pretty gnarly foundation moments where my face was a very different color than my neck. But nowadays, you know, we all grow up and I use things that are much closer to my actual skin tone color. And I would say sort of a comparable liquid foundation that I really love that's like the NARS Sheer Glow is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. Now I've done a full review on this. You guys can go check it out if you want more information. But really nice coverage, lasts a really long time, and it kind of gives you that like glow from within look, your skin but better, and I really, really enjoy this foundation. But on an everyday basis, I don't use this because it is so full coverage. I'm gonna repeat myself because you guys already know this, but I use the Kjaer Weis Cream Foundation. Right now it's just in my little collector kit, but you can see I've already hit pan, and I think I've had this for maybe like a month or two, so you guys know that I'm really using this. But yeah, so every day I kind of use a cream foundation just in the areas where I need it. And then when I'm actually going out or something, I tend to use that True Skin Serum foundation because I really, really like the coverage and the way that it looks on my skin. Okay, as far as concealer goes, I used to use the Neutrogena concealer. So it was part of their like acne line. And I just figured like, oh great, this has salicylic acid in it, so it'll help me conceal my blemishes and also treat them. I don't think it ever really helped treat them. If anything, I think putting a lot of concealer on makes it worse, and I think it looks worse. But I thought I was doing a good thing at the time. So I used to use that, and it came in like a little, it almost looked like a lipstick. And I feel like since I've transitioned to clean beauty, I've tried so many concealers, and I think I finally have found my favorite. I'm gonna actually be talking to you guys more about it next week. So that's just like a little spoiler, but I think I found the best concealer. I'm gonna be talking to you guys about it next Thursday, actually on Thanksgiving. Kind of fun. I'm going to be posting a video then. So get excited for that, and I'll be sharing my concealer pick with you then. As far as blush goes, I never wore blush. I always remember my mom saying you need to put blush on, like you look too pale or something like that, because I would just have a full face of foundation and no blush on. But I would rarely ever wear it, and if I did, I would wear this like disgusting old Neutrogena Healthy Skin like blush quad. I guess it's not even a quad, it's just in like one of those cases that you open like this, and it was like a big brick, and it had like different kind of colors, different pink colors in it. And I just remember, I think I had that for like 7 years, and I just used it every so often. I'm sure there's so much dust in it. I'm sure it was way, you know, past when I should have been using it. So gross. And it was also a powdered blush. And now I feel like I really gravitate towards cream blushes. I really like the way they look on my skin. I just feel like you look like way healthier. You don't get that kind of like dusty look. There are a few powdered blushes that I've tried that I enjoyed, but the one that I've really been using is the Kira Weiss blush in Reverence, which again is in that little collector's kit just so I can buy the refill. I don't have to buy the whole packaging. And then I really enjoy the Gressa Lumiere Complexion Fluid. I think that's what they're called. Again, I'll have them linked down below in Elise. I have all the other shades that I still am playing around with, so my favorite might change, but I'm wearing it today, and you guys can see I don't have any highlight on right now, but the combination of the oil in that product and the pigment just gives you this like really beautiful glow wherever you put it. I have a little bit on my eyes and then on my cheeks, so that's a favorite. And then like I said, the Kira Weiss Cream Blush Foundation is probably something I gravitate towards every day. So those are the two blushes that I sort of swapped my conventional products out for. Next category is bronzer, and I actually didn't ever wear bronzer. I don't know if that's because I was just naturally tanner back then, or just because I never thought about it, but I did do contour occasionally because I watched YouTube all the time. And if you guys watch Lisa Eldridge, you will notice a few of the things that I'm going to mention are Lisa Eldridge approved products that I had bought myself, and I actually kept, partly because of the packaging, partly because of the sentimental value. Yes, I am definitely one of those people that has an emotional attachment to makeup, but that's why I'm doing this channel, because I love makeup so much. And the product I'm talking about for contour is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in medium. Now, they have since come out with, I believe, different shades. They have a lighter one, but at the time that I bought this, which was years and years and years and years and years ago, they only had one shade, and it was medium. And I remember saving up for so long to be able to get this, because you watch Lisa Eldridge use it and just totally transform her face. I've never had that success with this product ever, but it was fun to pretend. I even bought the Charlotte Tilbury brush that she often used with this, and I felt very cool putting it on. But again, don't think I needed it. I don't usually contour anymore, and if I do, it's very lightly. Definitely didn't use that much of it. As you can see, I didn't even hit pan on it, but I really loved it, and it was just like one of those special products to me. So if I was to pick a contour shade, and sometimes I use this as a bronzer as well, I'd actually pick the Han bronzer in Malibu. This is something that I've talked about before. If you actually put the two products next to each other, they look pretty similar in terms of shade. This is a cooler bronzer. It works really well since I have a pretty pale skin tone right now. And then obviously the coolness of it works really well as a contour. So this has been one of my favorites. I know I did like a 5-minute face with Han makeup, and this was kind of the star of that. I really just felt like I really loved this and their cream blush. Those two products were really enjoyable for me. If you guys are looking for a good contour powder, I would definitely suggest this. I actually do have one more base product, which I probably should have shared with you guys earlier, but another sort of everyday makeup thing that I used to do in terms of like my base was that I would wear either like a BB or a CC cream just because some of them had SPF in it, and I was using an SPF called SkinCeuticals SPF. It's a broad spectrum SPF. It was a really great SPF and actually added like a little bit of glow to your skin. If I was using either that SPF or a BB cream, I believe I was using the Maybelline BB creams when they became really big. They never looked good on my skin. They always used to kind of pill, and I would have those like roller balls that would kind of like fall off my face during the day. But if I just wore the SPF, it looked really good. But now when I just want an SPF product with a little bit of tint, you guys know I use the Suntegrity 5-in-1 Natural Moisturizing Face Sunscreen. This has sort of been like my go-to everyday product, and this is definitely a very similar look to the SPF that I was using. You get a lot of shine from it, a tiny little bit of coverage, but mainly just a lot of glow, and then sun protection. Okay, so moving on to the eye area. So I rarely ever did any eye makeup besides mascara, but what I did do was brow gel, and I used to use the CoverGirl Clear Brow Gel. That was like such a good find when my sisters and I found that. We were so excited about it. And you guys know now I use the Eco Brow Defining Gel, which has a much better brush. It doesn't get all clumpy and goopy. It doesn't apply too much. And it's nice that it's an opaque container that you can't see through, because I remember with that CoverGirl Clear Brow Gel, by the time you're at the end of it, the color in the actual tube is so disconcerting. It's like a brown, like just disgusting looking color from I don't know what, from like dirt, from foundation, all of that getting into it. So I'm really happy that I can't see what's going on in this tube and that I'll just continue to look nice and clean throughout my time using it. Again, eyeshadow was a rarity for me to wear, but what I did have and what I loved was the first Naked palette from Urban Decay. That will like forever hold a soft spot in my heart, because I remember being so excited when I got it. And when I got it, you also got a free eye primer with it, and like everyone on YouTube was using the Urban Decay Naked palette. And so I just felt so cool. I think I was inspired by Candy Johnson, if you guys know who that is. I had also bought, what else did I buy because of her? A MAC like highlighting color in Moonlight, I believe that was the color. It was like a white highlight that I never wore, but I had it because she really loved it and I thought it'd be cool. But yeah, so I used to wear the Naked palette one, and it was just a lot of neutral colors. So the closest thing I could find in my collection now that I've been enjoying is the Well People Nudist One eyeshadow palette, and then the Nudist 2 is kind of similar to a different Naked palette. I know they came out with like different shades, and one was more purpley tone, so that kind of reminds me of that. But this is just like, you know, your go-to neutral shades. You don't get as much diversity. Obviously, I believe that the Naked palette had, I don't know, probably at least like 10 shades, versus this you only get 5. So that's kind of a bummer. You don't get that like full spectrum, but I think you get like all the colors that I actually used from the Naked palette. This color right here, this like kind of like neutral cool tone brown, reminds me a lot of the color, I think it was called Bear in the Naked palette, and I used to use that all the time. I think that was the only one that I actually hit pan on in the palette. But yeah, so this one definitely reminds me of that. Yeah, just so many fond memories with that Naked palette. Remember the velvet on it got so gross though by the time I was done with it. I think that's probably why I transitioned over to like metal palettes, because the velvet just did not hold up. But yeah, I really love that palette when I had it. So mascara that I used to use, that was something that I would use every day, and I would use the CoverGirl Falsies mascara. It came in a purple tube and I just only really bought that one. I just felt like it made my lashes look really nice. It had kind of like a fan brush, so theoretically the outside of your lashes would get coated more so and the inside of your lashes wouldn't, so you get kind of this like fanned out effect. Whether or not it did that, I'm not really sure, but I definitely haven't seen a brush like that in the clean beauty space, so I thought I would just list a couple of mascaras that I've tried and really liked. The first one being the Lily Lolo Original vegan black mascara. I haven't tried it in a while, so it would be interesting to try it again and see if I really love it. But I think I repurchased it 2 or 3 times before trying something different, just because I really liked the way my lashes looked. It lasted really well on me. It did smudge on my mom, for example. So everyone's eyes are really different, but I really like that one. I like the new Well People mascara, not the original one. That one smudged on me, but for whatever reason, the volumizing one does not smudge on me. And then currently I'm using the Kjaer Weis one. I like this one. It is, however, expensive, and I think the other two I just listed are less expensive, so maybe try those first. And then for my last category, it's lips. And again, lips were kind of like blush. I rarely ever wore anything besides Burt's Bees chapstick, but sometimes I would get fancy and I would wear Burt's Bees tinted chapstick. So you might consider Burt's Bees a clean brand too. Again, it's sort of like Physicians Formula. It falls into that drugstore clean beauty. But right now I'm using the Cosa Sport. This is kind of like a chapstick in Pulse, and it's pretty similar. This is pretty similar to the shade that I would have chosen in Burt's Bees chapsticks, and both products live in my purse, so I feel like they're kind of the same. And if I did ever wear lipstick, it was either a red lipstick for the holidays or one really special lipstick that I got for a birthday present that I would wear as more of an everyday color. But again, usually how I would apply them is just like from the bullet and then tap them in so they're more of a stain. Both of them are Tom Ford lipsticks, and I kept both of them because they're both special to me. One was a Lisa Eldridge purchase, and the other was, like I said, a birthday present, so that's special. But the everyday color that I have is Forbidden Pink. You guys can see, like, this is how much I cherish this lipstick. I only use the back side of it so that the TF, the Tom Ford on the front, would stay intact. Tom Ford lipsticks are just so beautiful. It's crazy. But what I would say is sort of the comparable one that I wear now. It's like a slightly less warm tone. The Tom Ford, it's more of like a corally pink color. But what I would use every day is this rose water color from Kosas. It's one of their, I think, best-selling shades, and I've loved it ever since I got it. It's kind of a deeper, more nudie color, not as pink, but it's really pretty. And again, both of these are kind of serve the everyday purpose. Now, when it comes to a holiday look, like I said, this is a Lisa Eldridge purchase. This is the Tom Ford lipstick in Cherry Lush, and I think I bought myself this as a Christmas present, or like an early Christmas present. And this one, the TF is totally gone because I actually wore this a lot. It's a beautiful blue toned red, just a really vibrant color. So pretty. Like I said, I keep it because it's special to me. And what I would wear now, and actually what I'm wearing today, just kind of dabbed all over my lips, is the Kjaer Weis lipstick in KW Red. Now, I have a few different red lipsticks that I really enjoy, but this one is definitely going to be the one that I'll be wearing this holiday season. Again, you feel like that like luxe factor because of Kjaer Weis's packaging, so it's kind of fun to have a special lipstick for the holidays, and it kind of brings me back to that Tom Ford packaging, so that's always nice. But those are all of my clean beauty swaps, so I hope that was helpful. Obviously, these products kind of change depending on what I'm in the mood for. There are different blushes that I like, there are different bronzers that I like, but I would say that the ones that I chose today are like the most comparable with each other. So if you are currently using conventional beauty still and you're kind of buying clean beauty as you finish things up, then maybe this will help inspire you about what some dupes are. Yeah, I'd love to know if you guys have any clean beauty swaps or dupes in your own collection. Let's just get like a big list going down below so people can use that as a resource. As I mentioned, next week I will have a video on Thanksgiving Day, which I'm so excited for. You guys are going to be really excited for because it involves savings, and I'm partnering with a really wonderful retailer. And then I think I will have a video up on Tuesday as well, so you guys get to see me twice next week. So hopefully that works for you, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I will talk to you guys very soon, and thank you so much for watching. Alright guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.